A few days ago, I wrote about the spiritual battlefield. I described how our spirituality expresses our values, our attitudes, and our general worldview, and how these things in turn shape our political system. To influence politics, then, we can begin with the spiritual. This is one very practical reason why our indigenous native religion is so important to our destiny as European-descended white folks. If we lose the spiritual battle, we will lose the political battle sooner or later. This is one of the reasons I advocate return to our ancestral faiths, particularly that of our Germanic or Nordic forebears. In my last article on spirituality, I recommended the Asatru Folk Assembly for those who wish to practice our traditional ways. But there is another war that we must win. The war against surveillance and control by the very governments that are charged with protecting your freedoms. There are powerful forces within modern states that actively seek to impose a new form of slavery, reinforced by modern technology that would rule over us forever. We must oppose these forces with all our might and main. Privacy, resistance against the surveillance state, is the second battlefield on which we fight. The National Security Agency, for example, has access to everything you do online or over the telephone, unless you make a deliberate attempt to protect your information. If you become a so-called person of interest, the powers that be will go back and pull up your records. If they decide you are politically undesirable, they and their lackeys, like the Southern Poverty Law Center and the Anti-Defamation League, can do all sorts of things to ruin your life. It's not just the NSA, of course. Everyone down the line, all sorts of government busybodies and private corporations want access to your personal information. The government wants to protect you, and the corporations want to better provide your services. To find out where all this is heading, check out the YouTube channel for the World Economic Forum, those folks who coined the term the Great Reset. They boast of their committees that are developing digital identification and digital currencies, among other things. Digital identification includes facial recognition software. Connect that with a network of cameras and you have the Chinese system of total surveillance. Digital currency means that the government knows how much money you have, how you spend it, and where you were when you made the transaction. And I haven't even touched on their fondness for the ideas of cyborgs. Self-driving cars will be another part of the surveillance system. Eventually, as these become the rule rather than the exception, cars will necessarily be controlled by a network of computers. That system will know who you are, where you're going, and even who is in the car with you. All this data will be stored because you might commit a crime or have an accident or be canceled. It's my understanding that the Biden administration allocated money to mandate that self-driving cars will have a breathalyzer built in. A logical development would be a kill switch so that law enforcement or systems admins could stop your vehicle anytime they chose. The bottom line is this: we are on the fast track to a locked-down world that will make Communist China's social credit system downright friendly. Very powerful, very rich forces are dedicated to bringing about this world. The Davos crowd is planning it in great detail. This will happen unless we stop it. You and I need to fight it, regardless of race, creed, color, political party. But what can you do? The system thrives on your data, so give it as little as possible. I know it seems futile, but that's what the system wants you to think. Resistance is not futile. We must fight the bastards. A quick and very incomplete list of things you can do. Number 1, use a surveillance-resistant browser. 2, use a VPN, virtual private network, on your computer. 3, put your phone in a Faraday bag or a Faraday box when you're not using it. If you don't know what that is, look it up. 4, get rid of Alexa and Ring. They spy on you. Number 5, get a Google-free phone. And while you're at it, get rid of your addiction to your phone. 6, Don't put your whole life on social media. Every bit of it can be used to build a psychological profile of you. Turn all that over to artificial intelligence, and you're heading for a world where your every move can be predicted in advance. Number 6, opt out of the coming 5G-powered Internet of Things, like your smart home, where even your meatloaf will spy on you. Number 7, pay with cash, and consider bartering after they outlaw cash. These are only a few examples of ways to resist. Make a game out of denying information to the system. This could become a whole new hobby. There are people who know a lot more about this than I do. Seek them out and take their best advice. One source on YouTube is Rob Braxman Tech. Check him out. He also sells gadgets like Google free phones. Also, you should check out all of Edward Snowden's videos on YouTube while you're at it. From time to time, I'll post tips relating to privacy on this website over in the musings section, so keep an eye out for them. If we do not win the privacy battlefield, how can we win on the political battlefield? How are you going to organize opposition, covert or otherwise, in a locked-down world that makes Orwell's 1984 look like a libertarian convention? Make your very life an act of resistance. Start today. Coming next time, the third battlefield, politics. See you then.